Hey, what's up, guys? We are back today. For me, it is Sunday night. I wanted to do some other stuff. I played this Sunday morning. You guys saw me practice earlier this week. It just didn't really like what I came up with. So I just thought I'd sit down and talk with you guys. A little bit of real talk. So I think the big thing is people always talk to us about, like, why did you start YouTube and why did you guys start making videos? And we've talked about that before a little bit, but people really enjoy being around us, and we feel like we really have a good, relationship and a repertoire between each other, and it's just fun. It's fun for us to do, and that's all well and good. But the trick is not just how to start, right? It's how to keep going and how to stay motivated and stay working at it. And that's something that we question from time to time, just like anybody. If you guys are out there and you make videos, you know that sometimes your motivation runs out, and sometimes you don't necessarily see the growth you're looking for, you don't necessarily see the interaction you're looking for, and it makes it tough to continue making stuff. So one of the big things for me is just you have to enjoy what you're making, and we're always looking for new things to do, new games to play, new ways to play them, new ways to interact with you guys, doing different types of videos, and it keeps things fresh. It keeps us growing creatively. And before we started this, I really hadn't edited videos for a long time. It's just been a few years since I did that, and so this vlog series has really helped me open up that creative side and looking at situations with how would I film this, or how would I capture this moment properly. So it's definitely interesting going into different situations and thinking like that. So that's part of the way that we kind of keep things fresh and keep things going on a motivation standpoint. I know that Jake showed me this video. I think it was Berkey from Rooster Teeth. If that's wrong, you can correct me, Jake. But he talked about motivation and how that's not actually a great thing to rely on, because when it's gone, then it's gone. And so then you have no reason to pick back up. So people always talk about getting motivated and choosing to kind of move on and continue to push and get better. And we've been doing this since September. So we're coming up on 9 months or so of doing this. So we saw some good growth right at the beginning, better than we expected, and then it just kind of coasted. And that's not a bad thing. It's a thing, right? And when you first start, we had a lot of follow for follows and sub for subs, and we didn't really like where that was going, so we stopped doing that. And lately we see the numbers go up and then they come back down. And so it's probably what we like to tell ourselves is that it's just people that weren't watching anyways, and so we're not losing anything when those numbers go down. But it's hard to stay motivated, and so one of the things that he talks about in the podcast that Jake showed me was how to develop that willpower, just to keep going and will yourself on. And that's something that we do quite a bit when we record. Some nights we're just, neither one of us, like, we're not feeling very good, or maybe we just don't really want to do it because we don't see maybe the interaction that we're hoping for in a certain video, or we're just missing out on something that we feel like we should be seeing. And so sometimes it's hard, and a lot of times one of us has to push the other. So one week maybe Jake is just feeling a little bit out of it, or not feeling up to it, or is frustrated with how things are going, and so I have to pick him up, and then vice versa. It goes the same way. So it is difficult. It's difficult to feel like you're putting out content that people can enjoy, and it's just not really reaching a lot of people. So I don't have a good answer. There is an article that I post from time to time on our Twitter. It talks about the 3-foot rule, like the vital achievements in life. And it describes, I'll post the article as a link here below, but it talks about a guy that was out digging gold back in the old gold rush. A couple hundred years ago here in America. Maybe not a couple hundred, but it was a long time ago. And he had this plot of land, and he had a good amount of gold, and then he just stopped getting gold. And he just kept coming up dry, and he kept going for months and months and months. Finally, he just had enough. He decided that he was done. He was going to cut his losses, sell his land, and move on. And so somebody bought it because it was the gold rush. That's what you did. You just bought a bunch of land. And they dug, and they got about 3 feet, and then it ended up becoming the biggest gold find one of the biggest gold finds in the entire gold rush. And so all that to say that no matter where you're at, you could be 3 feet from your achievement. You could be right there. The next video or the next vlog or the next podcast could be the one that breaks through. It's the one that grabs people. It's the one that gets people's attentions and really helps them gather around you and celebrate your content. And so that's kind of a rule that we have to remind ourselves. I read the article probably once a month just to keep that fresh in mind, that idea of just willing ourselves on. We really enjoy doing this, and we're going to keep doing this even if we don't see the numbers, because we're making stuff that we love. We have a ton of fun hanging out, and it's teaching us things to grow creatively. This is something I never thought I'd do, and now I'm doing it, and I feel more comfortable talking on camera, and I feel more comfortable interacting with people, and it gives me a creative outlet that I didn't have before. And so Jake is far better at me than video editing, and he's taught me a lot. But it is nice to be on my own for this, because it's forcing me to grow, both as a person and as an editor and content creator. So I don't have a ton of words of encouragement if you guys are struggling. These are just sharing some of the things that I feel like I struggle with. And it's tough because we want to do well, and we want to do well right now, right? No one wants to wait. And so I see a lot of people that have been doing this longer that are in similar spots. And then I see some people that have been doing this longer that have better success. And so that gives us encouragement. You know, the first thought you have probably is jealousy, right? It's like, oh man, I wish we could be doing that. I see DJ, for example, DJ Mule, he's doing a great job with his streaming, and his subs are coming up, and he's just awesome. He's having a ton of interactions. Great, well-deserved. If you guys haven't checked him out, make sure you do. And so sometimes there's a twinge of jealousy, because I would like to be doing that well, right? Everybody would. But he's earned it. He's worked hard to get there. He's done this for a long time, and that's awesome to see for him. So it's a reminder, not that we're trying to work against other creators, but we should use that as inspiration to continue to push ourselves. That's part of this vlog challenge. The other guy that's doing this, Big Papa Sam, well, we look up to him a lot because he's been, again, doing this longer, has a better following, and it's just super creative, and we'd love to see that. So instead of using that as like, oh man, I wish we could be that good, we're using it as a motivational tool to continue to push us forward and grow. So we feel like it's getting better. So yeah, those are some of the things. What do you guys do when maybe you're losing the will or motivation to continue? What are some things that pick you up out of off the ground and get you back into it? That's my vlog. If you guys got other stuff you want me to talk about, let me know below. As always, guys, thanks for hanging out, subscribing, and sharing with all your friends. We really appreciate all the support we get, and we'd love to see you guys in the future. Thanks.